Jamil Jaffer, founder, executive director of the GMU National Security Institute, former associate counsel to President George H.W. Bush, with us. There's so many, and I think fairly and fair-minded people are comparing this to the war in Iraq, George W. Bush's war in Iraq. I compared it much more to George H.W. Bush's war with Saddam Hussein that had an ending point. How do you see it?
Well, look, Leland, I think at the end of the day, the question is what the Iranians will do. If they decide they want to pick a fight with the United States, it's a fight they will certainly lose. President Trump has made that clear today by going after the Iran nuclear program and saying, I'm not going to take it. And he's also made clear that they have an opportunity now to do a deal to try and find a peaceful path forward. If they choose not to, then the game is on and we'll see what happens.
All fair points. The Iranians tend to believe in martyrdom for everybody else but themselves. There was this point a couple of days ago where President Trump said that we know where the Ayatollah is sleeping and we're not going to kill him yet. There's reports that President Trump and his team told the Israelis not to strike and try and kill Khamenei yet. What do you view as the tipping point between now and massive U.S. bombing campaign to end Iran's military and government as we know it?
Well, look, I think President Trump does not want a war in the Middle East. It's a war that Iran would lose, certainly if they picked it, but it's not something that the United States wants to walk into.
How dangerous it is? Look, Iran has miscalculated at every step so far, right? They've completely messed up sort of their negotiating process with President Trump. What is the danger of miscalculation going forward?
Yeah, look, I think they've miscalculated thus far, as you said. If they miscalculate again, they'll face a world of hurt, right? The United States will not stand by and watch our troops in the Middle East get attacked. We won't stand by and watch terrorist attacks in the United States or against Americans in Europe or against our allies. And so if Iran wants to pick this fight, I think President Trump has demonstrated he will bring it. Now, what that means in the long run, we'll see it. I guess it depends on what Iran does. They will feel the need to respond, but they should be very careful in what they do in a response because President Trump has made clear if he's willing to send, 6 to 8 B-2 bombers with massive ordnance penetrators against Fordo, he's willing to take further action.
Right. No, and he put that out in a Truth Social post after his speech, basically saying any attack on U.S. troops will be met with something that dwarfs what happened tonight. There's been a lot made over the past week of this divide in the Republican Party, the isolationist wing of the Republican Party versus the interventionist wing who've been very pro an attack on Iran. The fact that you had J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth standing behind him, both of whom were seen as more isolationist, what was the message sent?
Look, the message is the administration stands together. The president is the leader of the administration. He's made the decision to go. Everyone's going to fall in line behind him. And those in the MAGA base who don't support the president or aren't with him on this, well, they'll have a choice to make. And at the end of the day, the president's been very clear about what his position is now. Yep. We'll see if he sticks by it. Right? That's going to be the real question. Well, but Iran should know they made a mistake misjudging him. They thought he was more like Barack Obama and Joe Biden. He's demonstrated now he is not. We'll now see if he stands by that position or if the MAGA base puts pressure on him and he yields that pressure. Doesn't appear he's done that thus far, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think underestimating Trump's resolve at this point would be a losing bet and has been proven to be a real losing bet over the past 9 days. Jamil Jaffer with us. Jamil, thank you very much.